It works. It's nice and sturdy. 240 pounds. All right, folks, well, what's going on? Today we start the walls to the shark shed. Yes, we have come up with the name for the shed. It is called the Shark Shed. We finalized that last night during the live video that we did on YouTube. Let me show you what I bought today. And it is 46 sticks of 2x4x8 and then 10 sticks of 2x4x10s. The 2x4x10s are going to be the bottom and top plates for all the walls, and it's also going to be the pieces that are going to tie all the walls together at the top, and then all the sticks here will be for just the walls. I've got a few 2x4s that I'm going to cut down to make jack studs and make sure we've got the king studs for the windows and the doors. But we decided that 8 feet was going to be too tall of a wall for that small shed. So that means I've got to cut every single one of these down to 7 feet. The good news about that is then I can get an exact measurement. Everything is going to be exactly the same. When you get this from the mill and from the store, it's not necessarily exactly the right size, but this way I can guarantee that it will be 7 feet tall. So we'll be nipping off a little bit of the end there, and make sure everything's all straight, and then we'll start building some walls. One of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to build the walls in here because it is looking like it's going to rain out there. And in fact, it started to drizzle a little bit. And so I'm going to build the walls in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to build every single one of the walls in reverse order, meaning reverse order of what I'm going to put up. Let me walk out there and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So when I say that I'm doing the reverse order build of the shed is that once the walls are all done, then I'm going to come out here. And what we're going to do is right back in the back, the first wall to go in is going to be the back wall that has no windows. And then I'm going to do the left wall that also doesn't have any windows. And then I'll do the other wall that has a window. And then finally the front wall, which has the door and a window. That means that I've got to build that one first because that's going to be the last one to go up. And they're all going to be stacked up in here in the garage. It's the hardest one to build only because I've got a window and a door. After that, it should go pretty easy. Let's get started. First step is let's make it all 7 feet. All right, so what we decided was that our walls are going to be 7 feet tall. In order to get that, so this would be 7 here. We have a top plate and bottom plate, which is a 2x4, which is actually the dimensions on that is 1.5 by 3.5. If you have a top plate and a bottom plate, then what you need to do is take off 3 inches. We are going to go to 81 inches here. And then that way it accounts for the top and bottom plate, and we should be in good shape. Ear protection and eye protection. We finished cutting all of that wood. Everything is cut down to the exact same size. And now, like I said, what we're gonna do is we're gonna build the wall starting with the very front wall. And the reason why is because that's gonna be the last one to go up. We gotta build a window and a door. Let's get that all measured out and laid out, and then we can put it all together. All right, so a couple things to keep in mind here is that these walls will connect at the very top with the top plate. And I'm using this as the top plate reference. And the way that it connects is when you look at the stud this way, it's basically going to sit like this, and then the other wall that comes along the side is gonna hook in coming this way, right? Imagine if this wall was standing up, it would be coming up and down. So we need to make sure that that overhangs in a perfect spot to actually overhang over the side wall. And we'll do the same thing over here on this side. So the measurement of the stud, and if we grab a stud here, the way to reference all this is if you just lay this out right there, so that's how the wall is going to come in, then we can put this stud in here, and that shows exactly how that wall is going to line up. That top plate right there is actually going to connect to the wall that's on the sides, both there on that side and on that side. So that's kind of what I'm working on. And then if this is the front wall, then the doorway is actually going to sit right in here, and then there will be a small window right up there. So we got to frame out everything on the floor to mimic where everything is going to go. That will fit right there like that. So that'll be the window opening, and then all we have to do is put in some cross bracing on the top, and that'll take care of all of it. One thing I didn't mention is all of this dimensional wood will crown, meaning that most wood will have like a natural pitch on the wood. We want to get it as straight as possible. I checked it when I was at Home Depot, but I'm making sure that all my studs are actually this way, because it's easier to actually nail it when it's on the ground, because the ground is flat if you have everything going this way. If you do it this way, then the wood's rocking on you and it becomes like a real pain in the butt for you to nail it together. And you want to do that because you don't want your wall to look like it's wavy. So if everything's crowning in the same way, the wall looks nice and flat and smooth. All right, this is the basic configuration of the front wall. So you've got your jack studs in here. That's going to be the opening for the window is there. That's a rough opening of about 23.5 by 24.5. That'll accommodate the window. And then this is the actual doorway right here, and that is a 4-foot opening across, and then there's just enough room at the very top for a header, which will fit perfectly as a 2x6 that I can cut down to fit in that opening, and that'll be the header at the very top, and that takes care of the opening. And then the rest of it is just studs. This is the most complex of the walls, so it was important for me to get this thing done well. And then the back wall is basically the same dimension. We'll do the same thing with the sides there. It's just you're not gonna have all these openings. So the next one we'll do is the left wall. After I put this one together, that will not have a window. That'll just be a solid side wall. That'll be a 9-foot wall. Through the window of my shed. What do you think? Yeah, so this will be the wall that's closest to the parking pad, and then we have the window roughed out. Almost there. 2 more walls, and then we're ready to go. On this day, we decided to take out all of the finished walls out to the flooring of the shed and start doing the sheathing. The main reason why we did the sheathing out there was because if we had done it inside the garage, it would have been really, really heavy for my wife and I to move out there. So we just did it out on the pad, and then we're able to lift it out with a little help from my daughter and from my brother-in-law. All of it went pretty smoothly. We had to do a little bit of piecing together, but you'll see how everything looks. Overall, it went well. We are down to the last few pieces here, and I want to work smarter, not harder. We've got a couple more panels to put up there and do the top and the bottom, and then we'll actually cut out this piece, and then we'll be all set with sheathing. And the reason I want to work smarter is because those panels to try and hold up and nail and everything else and also cut out windows is going to be kind of a pain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in some cleats here on the bottom and over there just temporarily so that I can actually hold the sheet up with my wife. We can trace it out, cut everything out, and then put it back up. So that's what we're working on this morning. Go. Perfect window. And this is why you wear safety glasses. So if you look right here, that nail hit that knot and it actually shot that knot out like a bullet. Yeah, always wear safety glasses when you're using these things. Holy crap. All right, folks, so that's pretty much it. That is all of the framing of the walls and all the sheathing. This is where I'm gonna end this video. We'll pick up on the next video doing the rafters at the very, very top, getting ready for the roof. I'm really trying to get this shed dried in as quickly as possible, which means I've got to get the roof on, I've got to get the wrap around the whole shed, and I've also got to get all of the windows in. So once I get that in place and I get a door, then I can start moving stuff in there and I can do all the finish work. Everything looks really good with the exception of this wall got a little bit on the janky side just because I was having to piece stuff together, but it's solid and that's all I really care about. The rest of it looks really good. The reason why we put the sheathing on the side is because it keeps it from all the shearing motion so that it's not gonna slide sideways. So it's really, really sturdy right now. 240 pounds. And then once we get all the rafters in place, we'll be even sturdier. So that's it for this video. Like I said, we'll get back to the rafters. That's gonna be probably the most technical part of the shed because it involves math. So unless you're really good at math and you understand the concepts of the rafters, it's gonna be a little bit of work. But looking forward to it. It'll be a good challenge for me. Anyway, if you like this video, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. And if you wanna be notified of future videos, don't forget to hit that bell and we will see you on the next one.